It's the Vectrex. This thing is amazing. It has its own built-in 9-inch CRT in portrait mode. It's a special kind of CRT called a vector CRT. In here, there's the controller, volume and power. You turn the volume to turn the power on. Reset, second controller port, and the speakers in there too. And listen to this buzz when I turn it on. You can hear the video through the speaker. They're all like this. This is normal. The screen's black and white, but the games come with their own color. This game's called Mindstorm. It's built into the console. It's inspired by asteroids. Most versions of this game only got up to level 13, and then you get to sort of a kill screen sort of glitch out happening. They thought nobody would ever get up to level 13, so it wasn't going to be a problem. They were wrong. They actually had to re-release it later and fix the issue. On a normal CRT, the picture is drawn by scanning it back and forwards the whole way down the screen, the same amount of times every second. Whether the image is black or not, it's still doing the scanning. It just doesn't light up those areas of the screen. This is totally different. On this system, if you want a line to go from here to here, it just draws the line. So the beam never touches these black areas, but it also means you can't really fill in gaps. And it also means it's a variable frame rate, which my camera's gonna hate. You're seeing lines flash in and out all over the place. I don't see that. It's all on the screen as it should be. It's got a bit of a flicker to it because the refresh rate's pretty low. It actually gets lower depending on how much stuff's on the screen. It just depends how much time it takes to draw the lines. Once it's finished drawing them all, it goes to the next frame. I just crashed. This game's pretty cool. This is called Hyper Chase. It's actually got manual gears. Oh, the flicker is intense. It's got an analog joystick, which is pretty cool. It's almost a thumbstick. 4 buttons, pretty unergonomic kind of setup. A lot of these games are ports of arcade games. No, don't steal my triangles. I need my triangles. I don't know why I need my triangles. I like how these overlays tell me what the buttons on the controller do. I'm losing my triangles very quickly. My triangle, my triangle. Oh no. End. Space Wars is another arcade port. I seem to be a little tiny USS Enterprise. This one's a 1v1 space shooting game. I think this is Gravity Source in the middle. Is it? No, it's not a Gravity Source. I thought that was a Gravity Source. This one supports 2-player. I don't have a friend to play with though. Oh look, my ship's actually damaged. It's missing a part of the tail. That's pretty good that you can actually get damage. Oh, and I can't go into hyperspace if I've damaged. I love the physics of this ship in this game. This one's called Solar Quest. It's very similar to the other one, except a bit more of a asteroids-y sort of gameplay. Those things you want to collect, not shoot. Oh. There are some original games too. This one even has voice. Kick left, kick right, jump. Oh, move the ladder. The music's a bit repetitive. I got the key. I finished the level. This one has a bouncing TV as an enemy. That's probably not what that's supposed to be. Kick, kick, kick. Oh, I did a right kick instead of a left. I want to keep playing this. This is fun, but I can't. I have to keep playing other things. Okay, so most of them are arcade ports, but there's nothing bad about that. This means you can play arcade games at home. Whoa. How come I'm in a Jeep and they're in a tank? That's not fair. Yeah, got the chopper. The controls on this are pretty interesting. The joystick makes you turn quickly. Buttons 1 and 2 make you turn one little, I want to say pixel, but there are no pixels. One little whatever it is at a time, which is still too coarse to hit the tank every time. Oh, it's broken, it's still shooting me. Oh. Starhawk, which is definitely not Star Wars. This is definitely not the Death Star. That was definitely not a TIE fighter. I don't know the other ship names, but you'll definitely recognize them if you're into Star Wars. It's probably not the best as far as gameplay goes though. You just have a cursor and you mash shoot the whole time. That's it. There we go, end. And this is not Pac-Man. This is kind of different in that you're a vacuum cleaner, which is where the clean sweep name comes from, and you get bigger and bigger as you collect the dots, which I suppose is probably dirt. I think you can go in the middle to empty it out and then get smaller again. Oh. Yeah, pretty much bootleg a Pac-Man, but it's pretty solid. The Vectrex originally came out in 1982 and it was made by GCE. It actually did really well. And in 1983, Milton Bradley came along, bought the company, and started selling overseas as well. Mine started out as a GCE Vectrex. Actually has 3 different serial numbers. I'm not sure what the difference between the first 2 are. The last one was when it got rebranded to Milton Bradley and sent to Australia. But then something bad happened. The entire video game industry crashed. Everyone was trying to cash in on video games being successful, and they weren't paying attention to the quality of their products. Nearly everything was shovelware, and there were shovelware consoles made for shovelware games. The whole industry collapsed in on itself. Sales across the board dropped off by 97% in 1 year, and Milton Bradley got stuck in the middle of it. They lost millions of dollars, and it wasn't even their fault. It was just bad timing. Vectrex systems were sold off with huge discounts, and they still couldn't sell them all. They ended up just pulling them all back, dumping them on discount warehouses, liquidating the lot for nothing. I've spoken to countless gamers who remember those days and bought their Vectrex with a whole stack of games for hardly anything, and everyone who owned one has fond memories of it. There's also a huge homebrew scene for the Vectrex. Stuff like this happens. And this. Oh, and even this. People make some genuinely good homebrew, although I'm genuinely bad at it. People even make their own music for the Vectrex. This cartridge I actually put together myself. None of the code's mine, I can't take credit for any of that. It's called Vectorblade. It's a public domain game. This game is sensational. If you have a Vectrex, definitely get a copy of Vectorblade. This thing is vastly more complex than any of the games that came out on the Vectrex back in the 80s. It starts off slow and you buy upgrades. It's got almost RPG elements to it where you upgrade your ship as you go. There are a bunch of different gameplay modes. You can save your progress. It's got all kinds of power-ups. How good's this? I've never gotten this far in the game. This is just the demo. As far as I can tell, this is the entire collection of cartridges that were released in Australia, which is pretty sad. The Vectrex had a lot more potential than this. North America did get a few more. There were even 3D glasses which added colour to the screen. It was the first system ever to have 3D glasses. I don't have the glasses, I do have the games. The Vectrex 3D Imager worked by spinning a disc in front of your face and timing it perfectly. This is the disc for 3D Narrow Escape and 3D Crazy Coaster. At any given time, it would block one eye with the black side. As the colours were passing your other eye, it would draw the things on the screen that need to be those colours. It was moving so fast that your eyes could only tell a little bit that it was flickering a lot. There was also a light pen, which meant you could draw on the screen. I don't have one of those either. You can get homebrew versions of both the 3D Imager and the light pen, but I'm holding out for the real things. If you haven't played a Vectrex before, you really need to find someone who has one and give it a shot. It's the only console ever to have a vector monitor.